Hi, this is Patty, the Shabby Pink Stamper, and I want to share with you my project that I have. It's an Easter project because that's our theme this month for the Gone Artsy exhibit store. And so I want to share with you how to make this tea towel and how to, I'm showing you a tutorial on how to print your pictures onto fabric. So stay tuned for that. And if you use my code, which I'll put here on the screen, you can get 15% off your order. Okay? So stay tuned. Okay, let's start with how to get the print onto your fabric, muslin fabric. And this one is just a white, very light, thin fabric that I've just ironed and heat set the picture. And this picture is just one that I found online. And I also have this one. Again, you could see how I printed it out onto this little fabric. And what I did was you take freezer paper, and I'll post a picture. Of what it looks like, but it's freezer paper. We use it in quilting and things, so I have this paper, and it comes with a wax side and a paper side. See, it's dull on one side, shiny on the other. You will cut this 8.5 by 11 exactly, so it'll fit into your printer just like a regular copy piece of paper. And then you're going to take your fabric, your white muslin fabric. I iron mine first, and then I cut it slightly shorter all the way around. I tested the glue on this so it's glued, but just leave like an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And so you're going to use a iron to iron your fabric onto your freezer paper, the wax side up. That's the side that the fabric goes on. And don't use steam, you're just using a dry hot iron. And I just kind of touch it here, touch it there, and kind of rub it because you don't want to get the wax part onto your iron. But I make sure it's sealed really good around the top and the bottom edge. So for my printer, I could hand feed it through the back, but I just put it in like this so my fabric's down here, and then it goes around and it comes out with my print. Another tip is when you go to your image, when you go to print it out, I always put the image down further so it's covering like this part. Let me see. So it would have been covering, so I had this much space, can you see here on this fabric? I had this much space. So if this is glued, but if it should fold down and mess up, if it should catch, then it still won't mess up my picture. Because say it folds over as it goes to print, and say this folds over like that, you will be missing this edge of your picture. Anyway, you'll see when you go to do it. And my printer is nothing, it's not a special printer. It's just an inkjet printer, an HP inkjet printer. And so what I do is when I print it out, I pull it off the paper, and I will turn it over, and you can put it on another piece of material, but then I heat set it from the back just to ensure that the ink is heat set onto the fabric. So I've ironed this one really, really good, really well. It's nice and crisp. No starch, anything. I didn't use starch or anything. You could, after you print it out, you can. And again, like I said, I just ironed it. So that's how you're going to make, and I'm telling you, you can take photos of your grandchildren, yourself, whatever it is, and you can put those on to your muslin fabric without paying all that money, because believe me, I have purchased those, oh, they're like a little package of canvases or just even fabric like this that's already attached to the backing, and you just stick it in your printer. And so I always have lots of this type of fabric around, and I love different images, so I'm always collecting cute little images. So that's how you prepare your fabric. And then this tea towel is one that I got from Hobby Lobby. It says $4.99, but mine was on sale. I got it for, oh, it was like $2.49. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But right now I know that there are 30% off. So all the me and my bag stuff, so they have aprons, they have, here's the apron. So all the me and my bag and the basically your stuff is on sale. So this is an apron, $5.99, it's 30% off. And this table runner, I got it as regular $9.99, I got it for $5.99. And this matches, and so I'm also going to decorate this up. Okay, so, and what I did is I did hand wash this, and then I mean, you could throw it in your wash machine. I just didn't want to throw one thing in there, so I just hand washed it in hot and cold, and then I ironed it out so it's prepared. It's removed all the stiff sizing that comes on fabric, so it's ready for us to do our thing. I also left a 1/4 inch all around this this image. So let me see here. This is 19 inches, so 9.5 would be center. 9.5. So I'm going to kind of center my. Okay, and then I'm going to use Fabric Fix. It used to be Fabric Tack, and I couldn't find any Fabric Tack, so I'm sure this is the same stuff. I practiced with it to see if it would show through when I used it, and it doesn't. See, I glued this together. So just test it. You could barely see it right here, but I used a bunch. I ended up getting it on my finger, and so this is what we're going to do. I guess I could have ironed this down, but I'm just going to fold it like that. We're going to take a little bit of this, and I am just going to get the edge, and this is washable. So you can't wash it for, I think it said 24 hours after you use this glue. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not being perfect here. I'm not. And in fact, you don't even have to do that, because I'm going to add laces from Deb's shop, and I'm just going to add some different laces, you know, in different places to decorate this up for my Easter project. And so I have all these different laces to choose from. Okay. My kitchen is pink and green, So I haven't decided yet what laces I'm going to use. But the reason why I am doing this like this, is I'm not sure if I want to use laces to trim this out. I don't know if I have enough of the ones I want to use. I better lift that up. Okay. So you see what I'm doing? This is called finger fold, and so, or finger ironing. I just see the line, and then I'm just using my fingers, my fingernails, and I'm just folding that over. Very simple. And it dries clear. So even if you know, went a little out further than with the glue than you wanted, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. Why I pre-washed the towel too is because I pre-wash my fabric, so I know that this fabric, this muslin fabric, this white fabric, it's already been washed. If I hadn't washed it and I had printed this out onto unwashed fabric, that would be fine. Then I wouldn't wash either one until when I washed them together, and hopefully they would have the same amount of shrinkage. But when I first started quilting, I didn't wash any of the fabric, and then after taking a couple classes, quilting classes, they suggested that you wash your fabric. It depends, not everybody does. The first quilt that I made, I just looked up a pattern, a log cabin pattern online, and that was my first quilt. And we still have it. My husband was so proud of me. He didn't want me to give it away to anyone. And you can guess it's shabby chic. I used shabby chic colors. So we keep it in our motorhome. Okay, see how easy this is? I mean, I could sew it, but I thought not everybody has a sewing machine. Not everybody wants to sew. So I'm trying to show you how you could do this without having to use a sewing machine. Isn't that adorable already? It just blends in with this tea towel fabric. And if it should lift up, if I'm not putting enough glue in some places, you can always go back and fix it. Because this fabric is actually, I mean this glue is actually for fabric. Say it says if you want to hem pants. Can't imagine using, but I'm sure it works. It says. For pillows, you know, if you have a pillow coming apart, you could use this. So if you have any questions on how about printing pictures onto fabric, just leave me a comment and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I have the seam binding, which you can get from Deb's shop. And I'll put all the part numbers, or the item numbers, not part numbers, on the screen. And so I pre-dye it. I just spray it, which I know that she has a tutorial on how to do all of that. But so I'm just going to add a little every once in a while. Am I on screen? Yes. So I'm just going to weave this seam binding back and forth. I did this before on a pillow, and I love the look of it. So I'm going to do it again. So all I'm doing is dabbing a little of this fabric fix. And then maybe I need to zoom in instead of zoom out. Let me see. Okay. See how I just put a little and then I just put that down. And you just kind of twist it every so often. There's no design, there's no specific, I'm just looking for a twisted, random, oops. See how there's variations in the seam binding of color? That's what I like. And I could even use some of this green. Okay, I'm going to speed up the video so you don't have to watch me. Okay, I'm going to leave that piece because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Okay, and so then I've decided that I like these two, and again I'll put the item numbers down below, so I'm going to put them like that. Let's see. Okay, so let's first do the pink one. And I want it to hang down into the ruffle. Can you see how it's coming down into here? And I've cut it a little bit longer on each edge so I can kind of fold it over. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of this like so, and I'm just going to fold it back on itself. Okay. Like I said, usually I would be sewing, but because I'm not, then I'm going to, I think I'm on camera. Am I on camera? No. Alright, I'm not on camera, so let me move this over. I just added a little bit of glue, and I put the, I bent it, I turned it upside down here, so I want that edge to be hidden. Remember, you cannot wash this for 24 hours, it says on the glue, if you use the fabric tack. Now, I want there to be a little bit of flow, so I'm just going to add some glue up top here. Am I in screen? Yes. And messing up my fingernails, and so I'm just patting that down. Move this over here. And doing the same thing here. I have Easter stuff all over the place, working on my Easter projects, which I will be showing you in the next couple of days. So I'll post it on my blog, I'll post it, I'll do a video, a YouTube video. Okay, so can you see I have it where it's still kind of free-flowing. So I'm just going to, and I'm going to tack it down more when I put the other, oops, oh, I'm so sorry, on the other, when I put the other piece of lace down. So I don't have to do too much. I just wanted to turn those edges under. Make sure they're holding. This stuff dries fairly quickly, so we should be okay. Now let me grab this other piece. Isn't it beautiful? I love these laces. And I'm going to do the same thing. See how it just slightly is overlapping this and overlapping that. In fact, this one really I don't need to turn under, but I'm going to. So I don't know if I'm in screen again, but just put a little. It's messy because this lace is has so many open areas. So when I put the glue, it's getting it, but it's also getting my finger. So I'm just going to try and get this top part. See how I didn't go all the way down on this either? My battery's about to die, so I will be back with the finished product, finished project. Okay, so it's so easy. It is so easy. You're just gluing this down, tapping it. If it should come off and this should, if it should need a little more, then I can do it. I have the glue. Okay, so I glued it all down, had to get all the glue off my fingers, and why I left this is so you could have it hang over this. Okay, so I folded it in half to make it fit onto my table better here. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to add the doilies. I love these doilies. I just placed an order for my next design team package, and so I ordered some more. So I'm going to add this one towards the bottom. So that one's up there at the top, and I'm going to put something there, and this one's down here. And in here I'm going to add a button. It matches the back. But first I'm going to put this. We'll find out if this fabric tack will hold all this down. If it comes up, then I will have to sew it on. But all this is a little plastic piece, and the button I had in my stash. And this is a button that, let me cut off the backing.